I'm Alex Deckard.
My name's Ryan Clark.
You may recognize us from the wildly successful and internationally renowned Gameshoe podcast. Or you may not, because you're not one of our 30 listeners. But we're not here to talk to you about that. We're here to talk about something far more important. It's an epidemic that is sweeping our great nation, and some would say the world. I'm talking, of course, about rude online gamers.
Such a thing exists?
I know. I was as surprised as you are. Yes, tragically, the once pristine and beautiful world of online competitive gaming has now been sullied with a population full of miscreants and...
disreputable figures?
Oh, most disreputable. They can easily be divided into 3 types. The first of which, and by far the most common, is known as the random douchebag.
Oh, yes.
This is a man that randomly and for no reason levies criticism, insults, things like that.
For purposes of clarification, is this random douchebag necessarily a good or bad player?
Oh, it doesn't matter the quality of play, but usually the random douchebag is not very good at the game. It becomes difficult to practice at a game when you continually get kicked off of servers for being an asshole. I'm sure many of you are wondering out there, wait, how can I avoid or combat the random douchebag? Well, the best way to do it is to simply have him kicked from the server. But in situations where this is not doable, maybe you're not the server admin. Maybe he is the server admin.
Or maybe you're playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Where there is no server admin, or matchmaking, or sense to be made of any of it. Other strategies can be muting him. This way you won't have to hear him spew obscenities and hate-filled speech through your microphone all the time.
Other methods include killing him repeatedly so he quits the game.
This should not be too difficult, as usually the random douchebag is too wrapped up in shouting obscene and angry things at other players to actually play the game.
Now, you say angry and obscene, and I would hate to repeat such vulgar utterances, but
I wouldn't. I was called a fuckstick.
Thank you. What else have you been called recently?
Let's see here. Cockmongler.
Douchebag, asshole.
Well, those are just the basic ones.
Yeah,
those are the building blocks of true online obscenity. I mean, the possibilities are limitless. I've been called a team-killing fucktard by a guy who apparently didn't realize I wasn't on his team. Just the other day, someone called me, I kid you not, a sperm-burping fucknut. I didn't even know those words went together that way. I really didn't.
Well, at least he was creative.
Yeah, the first 3 times, but he called like 6 different people that.
Aww.
The point, of course, being that we need to be aware of people like this. These random douchebags littering our online games. They can ruin the experience for many a player. I myself have tragically been forced to rage quit countless rounds of Counter-Strike because I couldn't deal with the repeated racial slurs and random obscenities that would make a sailor blush. But we must move on to the next category. This category is slightly less common, a little bit less annoying, almost fun to watch sometimes, but can really ruin a game. I am, of course, referring to the angry noob.
Oh, yes.
This is a player that is inexperienced at the game, perhaps playing it for the first time, but continues to insult and berate other players, because obviously his inability to gain victory is not rooted in his own incompetence, but in a glitch in the game, or somebody using a cheap weapon, or hacks, or maybe just being a camping bitch. That last one can be legitimate sometimes.
Usually is.
However,
that doesn't necessitate that the angry noob is in any way justified in proclaiming these things, when in fact, the large majority of his problem stems from his own inability and incompetence at the game.
yes, the angry noob is truly an interesting creature, taking his own inadequacies in the field of gaming, and blaming others for them, while at the same time demonstrating them himself by utilizing Counter-Strike chat to repeatedly type how do make bullets, how do make bullets, someone pulls tell me how do make bullets. Upon typing this, this player was shot in the head by a player that didn't have his head up his own ass, at which point that other player was pronounced gay. Our next category is hyper-competent asshole.
Oh, Lord.
Yes, this is that douchebag that's way better at games than you and loves to tell you that all the damn time.
You know, this is perhaps the most confusing and irritating of the three random assholes that you encounter on your forays into the online gaming world.
Yes, this player, unlike the others, can never be brushed off as just some asshole who's not very good at the game and taking out his anger. You know this because he is shouting at you after having killed you for the 8th time in the last minute.
Usually by no-scoping in Modern Warfare 2.
No-scoping, shotgunning, meleeing you, perhaps hitting you with a throwing knife of some sort. Maybe he runs you over with a warthog in Halo because you were trying to figure out how to get into the car. Or maybe he just knows exactly what angle to shoot the wraith at so that he can bombard you from across the map. Maybe he's this dickhead that plays Modern Warfare 2 at 1 a.m. despite it being like, what, 35, 36?
Usually, yes.
This is because he has no job. Also because he has no life. Because
Or
he
wife.
spends all of his time playing online video games. He becomes very good at them, but at the age of about 40, when he runs out of money or his parents die, he will be unable to continue affording these games and will fade back into inadequacy on a grand cosmic level. However, this doesn't stop him from being a truly annoying part of online gaming, as games are full of this guy, repeatedly shouting, "Get on the point, motherfucker," "Jesus Christ, you're so bad at this game,"
Please die.
"You're a worthless sack of shit,"
Drink cyanide.
go away, for the love of fuck, go away, we just want good players here,"
Please boil your testicles in hydrochloric acid.
and "This game was way better 3 years ago before the patch." These are all things that we can hear from this horribly annoying griefer. But there is hope. I tell you, there is hope.
What hope do we have against the onslaught of these?
Miscreants.
Yes.
I'll tell you. Here at Gameshoe.net, we are working tirelessly to rid the world of rude online gamers. We strongly prefer a wholesome, family-friendly gaming experience in even the most violent and depraved of games. For it's one thing if a non-player character calls you a team-killing fucktard, but it's another thing if some asshole from Botswana does it. Because then you have to go to Botswana and kick his ass. And that's just hard.
He gets it wrong.
Yeah. 9 times out of 10, these online griefers and angry monkey people, they're not even accurate in their assessment of what you're doing wrong. They're just being douchebags.
Or their assessment of your sexual preference, your virility,
The size of your genitalia.
the stamina you have in bed, the profession of your mother.
Exactly. Many times my mother has been referred to as a prostitute, where if these people knew her at all, they would understand she is a teacher. That's not a prostitute at all. That's a teacher. And despite my repeated corrections of this, it still happens. Much to my chagrin. But as I said, here at Gameshoe, we're working tirelessly to rid the world of these bastards by hunting them down and getting them. Not killing them, mind you. We're not killing anybody, but tracking them down and attempting to have a reasonable conversation with them. It's not going well, but we're still going to work on it. Well, that's about all the time we have here on Gameshoe Video. Please tune in soon for another PSA. We'll have several more. Thank you, and good night.